All right, get yourselves ready. Rob's forecast says that we may have some serious storms headed our way.
With that in mind, and that said,
Chew on that.
How prepared is your home to take on the rain, the wind, the leaves, and whatnot?
And even the fog. ABC10's Irene Cruz, she's live with more on that. And of course, a current look at our conditions this morning. Very foggy. Good morning, Irene.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, it is incredibly foggy out here. It's a little bit hard to see because the camera doesn't necessarily pick it up very well during the nighttime, but it is very dense out there all across the valley from Oroville to Turlock, and that's going to last about until 10 o'clock this morning, so do keep that in mind for your driving conditions. Drive slow, keep that distance between the cars in front of you, and also be careful on those turns as well. So it's going to be the worst pretty much when sunrise hits, and Rob has mentioned that throughout the morning. But I also want to talk about home preparation for the storm that are headed our way this week. You want to make sure that we are ready for those storms, especially if you're living in a house with a bunch of leaves around. We want to make sure those gutters are good to go. So with me this morning is Ray Byers Jr. with Byers, and he's going to demonstrate for us what your gutters should look like and what they shouldn't, right?
Right. So why don't we start with what they shouldn't look like? What most people have is a traditional gutter like this, and on the interior of the gutter you can see the debris that slowly builds up inside here along with the leaves. You want to make sure that debris is clear. You also want to make sure that the downspout itself has free flowing of debris. The downspouts are roughly about a golf ball size opening, so not a whole lot of room for all the leaf sticks and debris to flow past. So we want to make sure that all that debris is out of the way of the downspout, especially right now this time of year when we have all the heavy winds as well as the rains.
Yeah, I got to make sure that water is flowing through and make sure it doesn't clog up any of your gutters. And coming up, we're going to be talking about some other tips to help you out to make sure your home is ready and make sure that you don't get any flooding around your house, pooling of water anywhere near your yard or anything like that. So that's coming up at the 6 o'clock hour. Back to you.
All right, Irene, thank you. Ray Jr. also getting up early to show us how to keep the gutter clean. That's all good, too.